vibe, it's the weekly D. Come along for the ride. Welcome to the weekly D, we going all in. H-Town legends, yeah, we do it for the win. Talking big facts, got jokes on deck. A podcast so fire, man, show some respect. Plus, dropping in, telling stories so bold. Comedians, hustlers, legends and pros. We keep it light, keep it tight, but we wildin' too. If you ain't laughing, something wrong with you.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the greatest podcast in the world, the Weekly D Podcast. I'm your host, Danny G, and today, Alan, Mr. AOZ, is back. We got him back from missionary, back from whatever he was doing out there.
Missionary? What kind of sexual positions are you thinking of?
You tell me, buddy. After we got that tabs, you've been all about it.
Missionary.
Missionary.
I don't know. Every time you go boop 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 boop, it sounds like fucking Blue's Clues.
Goddamn. Where's the mail? Goddamn, dude, I haven't seen Blue's Clues in forever. I'm on that bluey shit now. We upgraded.
I'm not gonna lie. So I remember when they switched the guy in Blue's Clues.
Was it Steve?
It was Steve, and then it switched to somebody else,
To Joe.
and then to Joe. Well, then the other day, this is like a couple months back, I was scrolling through TikTok, and all of a sudden, Steve comes on. Right? And it's like him on his TikTok. He's like, "Hello, friend. How you been doing? Long time no see." I started bawling, and I'm sitting there on the toilet taking a shit, and I'm crying. I was like, "Oh my god!"
I heard, like, for the longest time, the rumor was that he died of cancer or some shit, and that's why.
Somebody was saying that he was dead, and he was like, "No, I didn't die. I don't know where that came from, but I didn't die."
Yeah, that was like the rumor for the longest time. Was that he
and I
had
was just
cancer
like,
and he was dead. That's that they would tell kids that.
yeah. I was like, fuck. And then they replaced Joe with somebody else. I think there was a black dude in there. I don't even remember that. I think I stopped watching by then.
Seen a black dude.
I think it was a black dude. I think
Not
it
as the
was
host.
because I was watching it because I was watching like where they kept switching, and it was like not that long.
What was the black guy's name?
Oh, dude, I don't even remember.
Like Antoine or something.
I think it was. Yeah, it might have been. I don't know. I don't remember. It was TikTok a long time ago. I don't remember.
God damn. Well, buddy, it's been a good minute since you've been on this podcast. I mean, I think the last episode you did was before Easter. At least that we recorded before Easter. We released that.
Yeah, and then after that, work picked up at work and ended up working. In 1 week, I worked 80 hours.
Very nice.
And then in the other week was another 20 extra. Damn. I think. I came out with for those 2 weeks. I came out with like 130 hours, I think, total.
Holy shit.
And that's working 6 days a week and basically working 12 to 14 hours.
God damn.
On the second week, it wasn't as harsh, but it was still like 6 or 7 o'clock when I would get home.
Yeah. No wonder you were tired all the time.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I'm exhausted. I love that paycheck, though. I just got it yesterday. I doubled my check.
To the casino.
I doubled my check, literally doubled it.
Very nice.
And I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Oh, dude, I bet.
I was like, give me more.
Becomes obsessive, right? Once you start getting those overtime checks. Oh, I feel you on that one. But yeah, a lot has happened since then. The Pope has died. Me and Noelia have done like 3 episodes on the Pope.
Oh my god. But I mean, that was current events though, because I mean, they were talking about the Pope, for like a long time.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Pope, when we recorded the last episode that I was on, I believe that Sunday. No, not Easter Sunday. The second Sunday. The second Sunday of Easter is what they called it. I actually went to church.
What?
I have been going to church every week.
Very nice. Which one?
Holy Rosary.
Okay, in Richmond.
Yes.
You know what's funny? Me and
no, Rosenberg.
It's Richmond.
No, Rosenberg. The one off of Baymore.
Yeah.
The one in Richmond, I think, is that River Point? I know there's another Holy Rosary, but I don't know where it's at.
There's one in downtown.
But this one is Rosenberg. I know for sure. It's on
It's an
Georgia
old timey
Street,
church, right?
kind of.
I've been to it.
It's next to the Holy Rosary Catholic school,
Yeah. I've been to
like
it.
private school
You know
or
what's
whatever.
funny? As me and Linda were considering going to that church, since like the priest at our church is gone.
So wait, your priest died, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. You were planning on going all the way over here?
yeah. We're considering it. We're not big fans of the new
Well,
priest.
you probably wouldn't see us because we go in at 7 in the
Oh
morning.
yeah, I'd never see you.
Yeah, you'll never see me. 7 a.m. Wake up at 5, get ready and everything, and be over there by like 6:30, 6.
That's too early for a Sunday, bro. I gotta sleep in a
Dude,
little
I
bit.
went and I'm not gonna lie, it's smaller.
Yeah.
Like there is breathing room and I enjoy it and it's
Mm-hmm.
nice.
It's not all packed out.
So I'm not being mean or anything, okay? But I thought the father was with us. You're sitting there reading the gospel and he starts stuttering.
Oh my god.
And I was like, at first I was like, did I hear that right? And then there was like where he was sitting there talking and kind of preaching and he kept saying um like every other word or whatever, and I was just kind of like, okay. I was like, I can understand that maybe he's nervous, right? It feels like he's
Yeah.
nervous, right? And
Like his
he
first
just keeps
time.
saying, yeah, like it's like his first time or something, but it's not. But then I was like, you know what? Benefit of the doubt. It's early in the morning, and he was kind of stumbling over his words, and I was like, you know what? It's early in the morning. He just woke up. I'd be stumbling my words too. It's too early for this shit. But hey, we're all here.
Yeah.
And then he reached to the end of the gospel and he gets stuck on 3 words, repeating them over and over and over and
The
over.
word of
And
the Lord.
I was like, oh my god, I come to church and my priest has a stutter. I said, this is God just torturing me at this
You know
point.
what's crazy about that? So I went to Our Lady of Guadalupe this past Sunday for Mother's Day, right?
Hmm.
Because I wanted to go to mass with my mom.
It's like a priest Perez, I think it's something.
No, Father Lee,
Father Lee, yeah, Father Lee.
Father Lee Flores, and
Yeah, Flores. There we go. Yeah,
yeah,
Perez, I think was before him.
and he has a new deacon, right? Same thing. The deacon had a stutter, right? And Father Lee let him read the gospel and do the homily, right? So this dude's just the. Literally, I looked at my mom. I was like, "I'm gonna go to hell." You don't know how hard it is for me to not yell out "remake."
Yeah, me and Nicole kind of looked at each other when he kept getting stuck, and then at some point I was just like, "Come on, you almost got it. You're almost there." Then he finally finished. I was like, "There you go. All right, let's get this shit on the roll, man."
Dude, I literally, my mom just looked at me the whole time. She's like, "Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't say anything." And I'm just like,
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy though because last weekend and the weekend before it hasn't been that bad. It was just the first day that I went that it was actually very bad.
"What is God
This
testing
past
me, bro?"
Sunday, this last Sunday, I think he got stuck on like a phrase, but he only got stuck on it like 3 times. It's not like the last time where it was like 5 or 6 times, and I was like, holy.
Yeah,
Actually reset this dude, and I was like, and then another funny thing is that okay, so like I helped my dad change his alternator today after
uh-huh.
work, and then he was like, "Let's go out to eat. Let's go to Jason's Deli." He usually meets his coworker there,
Mm-hmm.
like at 6 o'clock, but it was like 5. We show up and he's like, "Y'all can eat if y'all want." So we ordered food and everything. We're sitting there. We got our food. We start eating. I just so happened to look up and look behind my dad, and then I looked at Nicole and I was like, "Babe, that's the lady that does the wine during the
Okay.
communion at church."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, it is." All of a sudden, coming around the corner behind the lady was the priest. And we're like,
No.
"That's Father." And she's like, "Oh my God." We're like, "Holy shit." And Nicole goes, "I didn't know he was allowed to leave the church." And I was like, "He's not a dog. He doesn't have to stay
Right?
home.
They don't fucking
He's
put a
allowed to
collar and chain on them.
leave." I was like, "That's out of pocket." And it's like God hurt us because then all of a sudden They sit down, they're trying to eat their food, they suddenly get up, and they literally move next to us.
Oh my god,
And I
that's
said,
hilarious.
"This is what happens when you're talking shit. This is God punishing us." And she's just like, "It's a
Dude,
sign." And I was like, "Yeah, it's a sign."
yep. Dude, I'm telling you, Mother's Day was a test for me. You know what else I saw on Mother's Day? At Mother's Day brunch with my mom? A family of midgets. Bro, Fidelia was with us. And as soon as I saw them, my face lit up. I was like, oh my god, there's a family of midgets. Fidelia elbowed me so hard and she's like, you better not say shit. We were fresh out of church too, and I was like, oh come on. Just one little teeny tiny joke, you know? It'll be a short one.
So another thing that we do is Nicole drives.
Mm-hmm.
This last time I drove, but the other time we take her car. When she drives, she's sitting there like blasting that Mexican OT all the way to the church parking lot.
Oh hell
And
yeah.
I'm like, yo, this is a little too gangster for, going to church on Sunday. And she's like, let me just get it out before I have to listen to all the singing and the hymns and everything. I said, okay. And then it's funny, mass ends and everything. We get back to the truck and it's still on the same volume. She
Yeah.
turns it on and it's fucking Mexican OT blaring again. She's like, whoa, whoa,
Baby,
whoa.
I've been drinking.
And turns it off. Turns it off. She's like,
I'll play
we're
church
too
music.
holy for that. She was like, we're too holy for that. We need to play some country music. Play
Some
some
hell
Zach
song.
Top. And I was like, oh my god.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, it's been pretty interesting.
Yeah. That's good though.
Um,
I'm happy for you.
yeah, I'm slowly getting into it. I have yet to do the communion.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there 3 times and I have yet to do
You
it.
gotta confess. I confess your
Yeah,
sins, son.
I have confessed my sins. I sat there and prayed hard. Keep praying hard about a lot of things,
Confession's the weirdest thing to me.
but I haven't actually like confessed, like
Oh, you
actually
gotta do
go
the
there. And,
confession, bro. You gotta
no,
go
I
to the
haven't
little
done that.
confessional. Be like, Father, I have sinned.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing all that. No.
My friend
It's between
Danny
me and
makes
the
me
other
talk
guy.
about retards every week.
No, yeah. Start talking about gay jokes and sucking each other off. What?
Bro top.
The bro
It's a whole
time, the
thing.
bro top. Yeah, so that one time we smoked too much weed, gave each other, and it's like, what? He's got to hear some wild ass shit.
Yeah, I've never confessed the shit I say on this podcast, and I think if I did, I'd get this. They're like, buddy, you
Can
need
you
more than some
imagine
holy
just
water.
like, you're the priest and you just sit down and you're like, what are you here to confess, my child? And it's just some female just like, I'm saving myself for marriage. But I still feel bad that I let my boyfriend put it in my butt. What? What?
The poop hole loophole.
Oh yeah, the loophole. Oh man, I can only imagine like the gossip. I couldn't
Right.
do it. I get too much into chisme.
You'd be the worst kind of priest. You'd be the kind of
Yeah.
priest that'd be on Don Francisco as a
And
skit.
I'd be like, oh my god, say what? And like I'm smart enough that I'd probably figure out who they're talking about, who they
Right.
are, everything. And I'd be
Like,
sitting
baby, you
there.
need Jesus.
I'd be sitting over there with the nuns like, oh my god, look at that sucia over there.
Bro, oh my god, you missed such a good confession that we actually got. There was some girl that her mom got drunk at a church bazaar and hit on the priest. That was a really good one. You missed out on some fun. Dude. Like I said, we talked a lot about the Pope and how we almost had a black Pope. Like we were this
Yeah, I
close.
was seeing that where like I was seeing where like they were saying that he was actually supposed to be like the Pope.
Yeah, he was gonna come out the little thing in the fish eye and go Wakanda forever. But
God damn.
we didn't get that
That's
one.
wild. That's a wild statement. But yeah, I was seeing like on the news outlets and everything that a lot of people thought that
Yeah,
cardinal was gonna be picked and everything, and then they turned out to be the first
yeah.
American.
You know what the craziest thing about all that was is like I learned how they bury the popes. It's very ritualistic. Like they hit the Pope with the silver hammer in the head to make sure
What
he's
the fuck?
dead. Yeah, dude. If you look at pictures of Pope Francis, that motherfucker black guy. They f***ed him up. Like I'm pretty sure whoever hit him in the head, like they're like, we gotta make sure this motherfucker's
Wait,
dead.
wait. But what does the church know that we don't?
So this is where I was heading, okay? Hang on to this. Because I was like, that's odd. A silver hammer to the head? Kind of odd, right? And then they bury all the popes at the same place underground. Like under St. Peter's Basilica. There's a chamber where they bury all the popes. This is where it got weird for me. Besides the silver hammer was they bury the popes in 3 caskets. Like one's made out of cedar wood, one's made out of silver or lead. Then the other one's like no, the first one's cypress wood, silver and lead, and then the outer shell is made out of oak or cedar, and it's sealed with gold nails. So I'm hearing this, right? I'm reading about it, learning about it, and I was like, these motherfuckers are vampires, bro. Like that's all I could think. The Pope was a vampire, and Pope Francis was smart, right? Because he's like, this, I'm not getting buried in 3 caskets. I'm not getting buried under St. Peter's Basilica. Dude chose where he was gonna get buried. I bet you in like 5 years he's gonna rise from the dead. He's gonna be a vampire.
Jesus Christ.
If I'm wrong, I'm writing a movie about this. But I'm convinced Pope Francis was a vampire. The Pope before him that quit wasn't ready to be a vampire. That's why he quit. And he went into be a
But
monk.
if he was a vampire, why'd he die?
He didn't. Well, who? Pope Francis?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if he was a vampire, like, why is he
Bro,
dead?
he's not
Are they
dead.
faking?
That's why
They're
they're
faking.
hitting.
They're
That's why they
faking.
hit them with the hammer, right? Make sure he's dead. But then they seal it. Why else would you seal someone in 3 caskets? Explain that.
I don't know.
So they don't come out. That's the only reasonable
Mm.
reason for it.
I still find that weird. They
That's
hit
what I'm
him with
saying.
a silver hammer.
Bro, they
to make
fucked Pope
sure
Francis
that
up.
he was dead.
Yeah, they hit him in the head, and then the Charmander, like the guy in charge of figuring out if he's dead, pops him in the head and says his name. Pops him in the head and says his name. Pops him in the head, and he has to do it 3 times with the silver hammer.
This almost sounds satanic.
But if you look at the pictures of Pope Francis, they fucked him up, dude. Dude had a black eye. Like all this was red. And the pictures of him in the casket. I'm convinced, dude. They're vampires.
That's wild.
Have you ever seen the Netflix show Midnight Mass?
I don't think I've seen that one. No.
Since you're on your journey of Catholicism, you should watch that show.
God damn.
It has to do with Catholicism and vampires. This is what's that part of this idea.
Jesus Christ.
Part of this conspiracy. It was funny the other day, me and Noelia, I went on a whole rant with Noelia about this. And she's like, you're not going to be right about this. I was like, look, I've been like 9 for 10 on my conspiracy theories. I was like, I can miss one, but I'm still going to have fun with it. But yeah, dude, Pope Francis, vampire. Yeah, you gotta listen to the past episode to learn about that though. I don't have enough time to explain this.
The last pope. That's wild.
Yep.
Also, let's see what were the popes for us growing up?
Pope Benedict. That's the one that quit and went to be a monk and never spoke a word again after he quit. I know the name.
Yeah.
And I think before that it was Pope John Paul.
Well, there's a kid joke in there somewhere.
Oh, there is. Bent a dick.
Oh, God. All right, look, I'm 3 Sundays in. You gotta forgive me. I'm 3 Sundays in. I'm not used to this.
The worst part is it got me around to corrupt you even more. So we had Pope John Paul II during our childhood, Pope Benedict, who was like the recent one before Pope Francis.
I think I only remember Benedict and Pope Francis.
Yeah.
But I feel like Pope Francis is fairly new.
He was. He started in 2013. He had a good run, 12 years.
Yeah.
And that's 3 presidencies. That's not bad.
Yeah. Man, I can't remember that it was 2013.
2013. I'm looking at it right now.
What was it before that?
Pope Benedict. He was from 05 to 13. But he's the one that had like a shitload of scandals. He supported some Nazi, like some not Nazis, some Holocaust deniers. He allowed these 3 cardinals in Germany who were Holocaust deniers to be part of the church. Yeah.
That's wild.
And he was German, but he quit. He resigned and then he went to be a monk in some like retreat, and that's one of those places where they never speak again. So he died without like revealing his deepest, darkest secrets.
Yeah.
Another
conspiracy there, huh?
Yep. Like I said, he wasn't ready to be a vampire. That's why he left.
Speaking of that Holocaust, we went thrift shopping the other day
Oh
here
God.
in Rosenberg.
Huh? Oh, there's a lot of like Polish and German people.
Yeah,
Around.
well, so Nicole found some like china that she's
Okay.
gonna get, and so she got like the little saucers and everything, and it was my turn to pay, or it was my turn to pay, and then the lady decided to put like a book
Mm-hmm.
in front of me with something on top of it, and then I kind of like peeked at it and I saw HO, and I was like, what the fuck is this? I moved what was on top, and it said the Holocaust. The
Was
It
it
was like
approved?
the fading of Judaism, I think is what it was, Judaism or something like
Judaism?
that, something like that. And I was just like, huh. And the lady
Interesting.
that was checking me out saw that I moved it, read it with me, and we both went, huh. And we were like, that seems like a very interesting book. And she was just like, I didn't even know we carried books like that. Yeah, that was a very awkward exchange between me and her, but like, yeah, that's a very interesting read.
Dude, I bet. That sounds
I don't know
wild.
who would pick that up at the
I mean, someone must be a fan.
yeah, somebody did though. I mean,
There's
I
crazy
probably
people.
would have read it anyway.
I would have read it just out of curiosity. I was like,
Same,
"What's this
same.
about?"
Something about the Holocaust is very curious.
Maybe.
Anything World War II related is very curious to me.
Yeah, yeah. You know what's so funny? So one of my favorite comedians, his name is Bert Kreischer, and his best friend Tom Segura, who's another comedian, has a podcast with them called Two Bears One Cave, right?
I've heard of
And
them.
like a while back, Tom Segura mentioned that Bert Kreischer was a huge history buff. Like, he likes history. He likes up shit from history.
Didn't you get him like Hitler's teacup?
Teacup, yeah.
Yeah,
And then Fluffy
yeah.
bought him another one.
Oh my god. Oh, that's crazy.
You know, as fucked up as it sounds, I would have loved to have that cup. Just like, this is the cup,
Can you imagine sitting in your own house making tea out of that thing and sitting there and be like, the man that almost took over the world.
right?
His lips touched this glass, and so shall mine.
There is
That
no other way you
moment.
can make that sound gay.
And getting tea banged.
His balls were in this cup. Let me take a sip out of it.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
If you could own a piece of history that was up, what would you try to get? Anything that has to be up.
It has to be
Or like something from history that
Hitler's
might
finger.
be Hitler's finger. Damn, you know what my head went straight to, and this is gonna be really up. Was one of the nails from the cross that Jesus was crucified on,
You know,
or the hammer.
that's a good one. I don't know about the hammer. I think the nail holds a little bit more significance. But wouldn't the nail be a holy relic?
I would assume so. I think the cross is a holy relic. To be honest,
I can't
dude.
remember what
Okay,
I can't remember movie. There was a movie that made the nail, one of the nails that
I think it is.
crucified Jesus was a holy relic.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they are actually, which is crazy. You know, because like the crown of thorns was a real thing, and they had it at in Paris at that church that burned down. Notre Dame used to house the actual crown of thorns. That would have been crazy to own. Crown of thorns.
It'd be crazy to see today.
Yeah, dude, we gotta. Okay, when we make enough money off of tabs, we're gonna go to like Israel and Iraq and all that, and go on a like religious bro trip.
Why are we going to Iraq?
Because Jesus was in Iraq,
I thought it was Jerusalem.
not just Jerusalem. He was all over that area. You know, like the
The
flood of
lack,
Noah
the
was
lack
in.
of knowledge. I'm only 3 days in, man. You just
Okay,
stop
okay.
dropping all
Well,
this
Noah's
knowledge.
Ark was in
Jesus.
Turkey, in modern day Turkey.
I think I remember watching a documentary about that where they scanned like the mountains and they found it.
Yeah, they think they found it in
Yeah, they think
Turkey,
they found it, but they can't dig it because it's
in the
something.
mountain. Yeah,
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 it's something in the
yeah.
mountain.
But that's in Turkey, right? So that's
hmm
around there.
hmm
And then I believe Jesus' home is actually under a church somewhere in that area. It might have been Jerusalem, but I don't think it was. I think Nazareth was part of Iraq or something like that. Somewhere around. But I know, why Iraq had the Stargate. That's why World War III almost happened.
The Stargate.
The portal that lets us go to see the aliens. Never heard of this?
No. I thought that was the pyramids.
No, the pyramids are a generator. So that
Of
creates
energy.
electricity. Yep. That would be interesting too to go see. Imagine being able to go in there and see how it works.
Wasn't there a whole thing that
They
the
did a
whole,
LiDAR scan.
or basically everything about the whole the Adam and Eve, the Garden of Eden was actually another place through the
Iraq?
Stargate?
No, Garden of Eden was in Iraq. That I know for sure. I think I know for sure.
But because somebody did something, the Stargate closed and we lost our way to paradise.
Possibly. I don't know. There's a lot of conspiracies about it.
It's kind of like the one story that I remember where God built a tower from heaven to earth, and all of mankind spoke one language
Mm-hmm.
in unity. Someone did something, I can't remember what it was. They did something that angered God, and he destroyed the tower between earth and heaven.
That sounds about right.
And then, when everyone was trying to work together to rebuild the tower to reach heaven, he changed the languages.
So we couldn't do
So
it.
the people were divided
I
and
have
couldn't
heard that.
communicate. But I can't remember. Was it that, man? What was that? Babylon? Was it that? I can't remember.
Actually, I have heard that. I don't remember where that was, where I saw that, but I've heard that theory. Yeah. But speaking of conspiracy theories, all right, the diddler, P Diddy, the diddleman.
Oh, I haven't been following any of that. I've been kind of letting it go, so that way I can kind of watch it all at once,
Okay.
and not kind of do you can tell me. I don't care. It's not gonna affect anything. But I just didn't want to be caught up like we were with at work with the Amber Heard and our earbuds, and we're just sitting there across from each
Like
other.
this
We're
bitch.
yeah, dude, did you hear that shit? He's and you're no, I'm 3 seconds behind. Don't tell me.
All right, we'll hold off on P Diddy. We can skip that for now because we're also going kind of long already. We're at 30 minutes.
The last thing that I heard, because Nicole was telling me about it just not too long ago, was that me and her ended up on the same TikTok page of this lady kind of whispering to her phone, and she was just the court just took a break because the judge just gave the green light for the jury to watch actual footage of, I think it's sexual acts.
Okay.
And that, yeah, the sexual acts that Diddy did, the movies or whatever or something. And the crazy part is that his sons are in the front row
Damn. I'm not shocked.
as these are about to be played. His
Yeah,
daughters are nowhere to be seen, but his sons are front row.
I'm not shocked. I mean, his sons are kind of running things for him right now. But one of the biggest things that came out this week was Cassie Ventura, who was his ex girlfriend.
Is that the one that he was dragging and beating?
Yeah, the one that he beat the shit out of in the hotel
Yeah,
and then drove her
what is it,
around by the weave.
2016 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she came out and testified, and she was talking about some of the shit that P Diddy put her through and made her do. And there was one specific thing that has stuck out and has been all over the place, was that P Diddy would hire prostitutes to Cassie in front of him, right? Have them come inside of her, and then he would have her ride his chest and rub the cum all over his nipples.
Interesting.
That doesn't say freak. I don't know what does. I mean, the 10,000 bottles of baby oil.
How many drugs do you have to consume on a daily basis to rot your brain to the point to where that is what turns you on?
Bro, I mean, that's what we've heard so far, right? But there's rumors of more up shit. There's a whole conspiracy that the reason Tupac died was because Tupac and Diddy were secret lovers and they were each other, and Tupac tried to break up with them, and Diddy lost his shit and had him killed.
I didn't hear that part. I just know that I heard something about
I
P
mean,
Diddy
he
got
has
Tupac
Tupac.
killed.
He has Tupac tattooed on his chest. But apparently, they used to go to like the same swinger parties and stuff and the freak offs. And there's a whole conspiracy, and it's crazy, right? Because like Tupac's a West Coast legend. R.I.P. He got gunned down, but it's crazy enough to where I actually believe it a little bit. Because like Tupac wasn't gangster. He was an actor, a drama kid, a comedian, like who happened to write really good music. He was an artist, but
Mhm.
he wasn't like a true West Coast gangster. The dude grew up in Baltimore, you know. And there was some questionable outfits back in his day, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was some diddling happening there.
Diddling. God damn. It's gonna be the term for generations.
Some baby
Some
oil and diddling.
diddling.
Still find it crazy that they found 1,000+ bottles of baby oil in his house.
Johnson and Johnson just made a killing.
Right,
And they didn't even ask questions. They're just like, okay.
right. They're like, cool, we sold
Yeah,
that.
we'll take your money. Take your money.
I mean, Amazon made a killing off of it too, because I think they were all in Amazon boxes.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Houston's hot, but your bedroom should be más caliente than Westheimer traffic in July. Whether you're getting freaky in El Rancho in the backseat of a Tundra or under the ceiling fan that sounds like it's struggling, Tab Sex Chocolates got what you need to turn that sazon up. Pop one and you'll be putting in more rounds than DJ Screw on a Sunday night set. These little chocolates hit fast, taste good, and have you moving like Bad Bunny just whispered "Dale, mami" in your ear. And since it's Gemini season, dual personalities are encouraged, especially if one of them knows how to arch that back. So use promo code LOVE231690 at checkout for 10% off and show them you've got more stamina than your Theo at a quince with the open bar. Again, promo code LOVE231690. And remember, tabs, because sometimes the only thing harder than a Houston summer is you after one of these. All right. And speaking of freaky deaky energy, let's get into this week's clip of the week.
So much has changed in like 3 weeks. What the hell? What the
I've gotten a
okay.
little more creative with our ads.
Okay, you've had too much time on your hands.
Well, look, here's what had happened. I was recording episodes with my wife, right? I was like, my wife didn't feel comfortable reading the tabs ad. So I was like, I gotta rewrite a new one. So I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna challenge myself to write a new ad every single week. This is what we got this week. And this week, for our clip of the week, you know, we've turned clip of the week as a fun little game that we play where I look for the most interesting people on the internet and I show them
Jesus
to you.
Christ.
So to stay on theme with what we've been doing so far, here is our interesting person of the week.
What was the dude's name? What was the first dude's name? I keep forgetting.
Superhuman Timmy.
Oh my
Fuck
god.
this shit. Can I get a whoop whoop? This is our new guy. I don't remember his name, but here you
Is
go.
this the guy that used to do the lightsaber fights?
Possibly.
This looks like he looks built the same.
Bro, I thought this was the bad guy from the pig from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I was like, we found him in real life.
My god, this is Roadhog before he joined the Overwatch team.
This is Chino in like in 20 years.
God damn.
All right, here we go, here we go.
What's with the Tarzan theme in the background?
Oh no, I'm gonna cover that with another song. One of our songs that we
Why does it
produced.
sound? There was no words to it. He was like, what the?
I told you, it's the guy
No, I
from
swear
Ninja
to God,
Turtles.
I feel like this is the dude. This is the dude that used to do Star Wars clips. I had seen one clip where he was like in shorts, shirtless,
Look at that
with
run, bro.
with
I think he
And I
hit.
can't remember what that video was about.
He literally hit optimal speed right here. That's max speed right there.
Oh my god, you're making me think of that. Let's just Google fat kid with lightsaber and see if it comes up.
Fat kid with the lightsaber.
Yes, fat kid versus Padawan. You need to look that up,
Okay.
and it's on YouTube.
My God. I'm gonna take the sound off just in case.
You're saying, "Oh my god," but I don't see anything on the screen right now.
Shit.
It's like frozen. It's still on the whole
Oh
fat guy versus
no!
Padawan.
Oh no! I got stuck.
No, there's nothing bad. There's nothing bad. Like, it's actually funny what he says.
Oh, is it?
It started over.
So what do you say, young Padawan?
Fucking Jabba the Hutt, dude.
Let the knighted, not sent your master die to my blade!
Look at that body armor, bro. Dude built like a warhog.
Out! Just like the old days of the Sith Army! Anger is not the way of the Jedi!
He's getting shit.
Oh,
You okay?
Fatality.
Oh, you good, bro?
ouch!
I hope you got that
Get
hot
that
pill.
camera!
I think I did. You good, man?
I think I just shit myself.
Oh, that was great.
Tell me why. You said, "Look at that back armor, dude," and it panned over to where like we saw his front again. I was like, "Why does this dude look like Jonathan?" Oh my god, my cheekbones.
That boy was built tough, man.
I'm about to shoot myself.
That was some.
Fucking me. I told you it wasn't bad.
That was awesome. Well, it had the Star Wars sound, you know.
What do you say, my young Padawan?
Boy looked like he ate Jabba the Hutt for breakfast.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, damn.
All right.
Damn, boy, where'd
So-
you find this?
Have you seen the whole like little challenge going on right now where if you had 100 men versus one gorilla, do you think the 100
Guy, I
men would-
heard about that shit. I don't remember. I don't think I took part in it. I was too busy working.
So the whole idea is you pick 100 men to fight one gorilla, and then determine whether 100 men would win or the gorilla would win. And I thought it'd be really fun if we played this game, but instead of naming 100 people, because that's going to take a long ass time, we do it Overwatch style. So the game is you're going to get to pick 2 DPS, 2 support healers, 1 tank, but they all have to be real people. And these are your top 5 like finishers to fight the gorilla. All right.
I
can-
have to
or-
come up with these people.
We can either take turns going back and forth.
Okay, what is the selection of people here?
What do you mean?
What are the people?
Like just people, you know?
What is like the people that I know?
Okay.
Or the people I know
So
has
here's
to
the
be
thing.
people that you know.
No. Here's the thing. Once
Or
someone's
is it
selected,
celebrities. Like,
once someone is selected, you can't choose them again. All right.
okay.
Now, with that being said, you can choose real people. So it can't be movie characters, but it could be real people. You don't have to know them. It could be
Like-
celebrities.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Like that, not
yeah. And then
Tony Stark.
there's no weapons, so you have to choose wisely. Again, you're choosing 5 people that will be going to war with you against this one girl. I know it sounds stupid, but I thought it'd be hilarious to see. And we'll let the listeners choose who they think would win.
Okay, DPS.
Okay.
Jackie Chan.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, my turn. Okay, you chose Jackie Chan. Okay, DPS. I'm gonna choose.
Is it dead or alive or alive?
It could be dead or alive.
Okay.
They just have to be real people.
Okay.
So, since you said Jackie Chan, I'm gonna counter your DPS with Jean-Claude Van Damme, the kickboxer.
Okay, yes, I've pictured who that is. Support.
And then you have 2 DPS, 2 support, 1 tank.
Now, tank, I would choose the strong man. I forgot his name.
Thor, the Mountain
Is it
Man.
Thor? Is it Thor the Mountain Man?
Yeah,
He's like the strongest
the one from Game of
man.
Thrones, right?
Huh?
The one from Game of Thrones.
No. Like the actual like.
The actor that
There's like.
plays him.
Is he the
Or
actor?
you're talking about like the World's Strongest Man competition.
Yeah, like
There's been
there's like a
multiple of them.
strong man, a strong. What was it? World's strongest man.
Or Eddie, is it Eddie Brock? No, that's Spider Man.
Spider-Man. What the
Not Spider Man, that's Venom. That's Eddie something. Eddie Hall or Thor the Mountain Man.
fuck?
It's
I
Thor
think
though,
that's
right?
the one. It's
Thor
I can't
Bjornsson?
pronounce it. It's Julius Bjornsson. That's the one I remember. Oh, okay. I see Eddie Hall. No, not him. I think it's Bjornsson. That's the one I remember. Thor
They spell
Strongman.
Bjornsson.
Oh yeah, I guess it is Thor because I just clicked Thor Strongman and he pops up. Yeah, Thor Bjornsson.
Yeah, okay.
Bjornsson. Yeah.
He's the Mountain Man. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the
Okay.
tank. That's the
That's a good take, bro.
Yeah. I remembered watching him lift some shit on like TikTok or something, and I'm like, yeah, that's the tank.
Okay. I'm gonna pick Prime Ronnie Coleman.
Ronnie Coleman. I have to look that one up. I don't know very many people's name.
Okay, he's a bodybuilder. I got you. That way the
Coleman.
people.
Oh, I see it. Professional. Oh my god. He's a healer? Or he's a tank?
He's my tank.
He's your tank.
He's my tank. Yes.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ. The dong on that one. Typed him in, and all I see is the Speedo. And that's all I see. Hey, wait, isn't he the one that can't walk no more?
Yeah, that's why I said Prime Ronnie Coleman.
There we go. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So this is
God,
Prime him.
the
This is
fucking
all the
hammer
juice.
on that one. Jesus. And believe it or not, that's just soft.
God damn. All right, who you got?
Healer. Oh man, I want to say Scarlett Johansson.
Okay. So she can heal broken hearts. Okay. My other DPS is gonna be John Cena because you can't see him.
Second healer, Ryan Reynolds.
Ooh, is this before or after the whole controversy with him and his wife?
Oh, you're talking probably before.
When everyone liked him?
Yeah, when everyone liked him. The Deadpool. What do I need? I need a DPS, right?
You need one DPS. Okay,
Did
it's
you
my
pick
turn now,
everybody
right?
Yeah, I think you got healers next, right? Because you picked tank.
Yeah.
You got 2 DPS.
Healers. Who's gonna be a good healer? Who can bring people back to life? Riley Reid.
Riley Reid. Jesus Christ. You know what? I know my second DPS. This is just gonna be for shits and giggles. Johnny Sins.
A doctor or one of his other many jobs?
Say construction worker because they'll bring the hammers.
Alright, so I got one more support.
Like you're like Riley Reid, and then it just derailed from there.
One more support or healer. Who would be a good support? Who can do magic? David Blaine. Riley Reid and David Blaine. They're gonna save my team. One's gonna suck them away and one's gonna suck them away. If you know what I mean.
Right. Oh my god.
Alright. So recap. Here's your Overwatch team to fight the one girl. You got Jackie Chan, Johnny Sins, the construction worker, as your DPS. For support and healing, you have Scarlett Johansson and Ryan Reynolds before he got canceled. And then as your tank, you got Thor Bjornsson, the Mountain. Okay. And then on my end, for DPS, I got Jean-Claude Van Damme, the kickboxer. And then I got John Cena because you can't see him. My support is all about sucking. So we got Riley Reid and David Blaine. And my one take is Prime Ronnie Coleman. I think that's a pretty solid list.
Okay.
You got any honorable mentions?
You were saying DPS. What were your DPS again?
Jean-Claude Van Damme and John Cena.
Okay, now is that like Fast Furious, like big arms, little body John Cena, or
No, I'm talking big body, little legs John Cena from wrestling.
Because
Johnny
in the
Bravo looking
Fast and
ass.
because in the Fast and Furious, for some reason, the dude's arms look unproportionally massive compared to the rest of his body.
And when he was prime like wrestler back in the day, he used to wear headbands on his arms. Like that's how ridiculously disproportionate his arms were. You got any honorable mentions?
Honorable mention as far as like a tank, I think I would pick like Mark Henry.
Mark Henry, the wrestler?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Only because like I grew up in the one time where he was like the unbeatable.
The world's strongest man
Yeah.
in wrestling.
It was the only reason. And then what was the other one? The dude that was in The Longest Yard. That big dude.
Oh, the Great Khali.
Yes.
The Great Khali would have been a good one.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
I should have picked the Undertaker as my support instead of David Blaine. He's the dead
And
man.
bring him back from him back from the dead. And then just
Awesome.
have like all your team do like the D-Generation X dance as a taunt.
Right. You know who else would have been a good one? Mia Khalifa.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Have you seen where like
Before she got canceled.
popsicle, there's a I think it's like a popsicle or a corn seller in a different country, and he used a Mia Khalifa and like replaced like all the dicks with like the product that he was selling. Yeah. I was like, what the
You know, another one that I thought was gonna be a good mention was The Rock. I just didn't know where I'd put him at. Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah, I don't know where you would. I mean, he could be Tank, but then he could be TP.
Yeah.
But then he could also be support because all he has to do is the eyebrow thing, and you rise from the dead.
Or yell, "Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?"
Yeah, you could do that too. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who would have been funny to have on my team as DPS. Bobby Lee, the comedian Bobby Lee, in his wrestling outfit from Mad TV.
If you're gonna have him, then you have to add Jack Black in Nacho Libre suit.
That would have been a great one, dude. Jack Black as Nacho Libre. Oh, but we said no movie characters. That's why.
Well, no, like the outfit, like it's him, but he's in the outfit. He's in the suit.
That would have been good.
Yeah.
You ever see this? Freaking Bobby Lee on Mad TV, wrestling with Triple H. That's the Bobby Lee I want on my team.
Jesus Christ.
That would have been hilarious.
It looked horrible.
But yeah, that was fun. Who do you think would win out of these two? Whose team actually has a chance against a gorilla?
I'm pretty confident in mine.
Are you?
I feel like I picked some good ones.
Yeah. Think Scarlett Johansson's gonna do a lot there?
Yeah. Yeah. And then Ryan Reynolds too. Who doesn't love Ryan Reynolds? Before he got canceled.
I could think of is how can a gorilla beat John Cena if it can't see him? Well, no, where it's getting hit from.
All he has to do is do the 360 while shitting, and he's gonna spray him. He's gonna know exactly where he is.
It's like the fucking Predator, anti-Predator.
You seen the videos of like a silverback gorilla, like where he's like drifting and going in a circle?
Bro, how did I not think about this? Bill Cosby.
Oh my!
You know, giving the gorilla a fudge pop, game over. Hands down, game over.
Would you like a fudge pop? There you go.
I should have thrown the diddler in there.
Yeah.
Between
him
Cosby
covered
and
in
the
baby
diddler.
oil. You're like, you'll never catch me.
And then R. Kelly as my DPS, so he'd piss all over the gorilla. Damn. That would have been it.
You know, R. Kelly would be support because he'd be like Moira.
Yeah, from a distance.
Yeah.
I changed my list.
Who's your other DPS?
Bill
Michael
Cosby.
Jackson?
Bill Cosby and the diddler as my DPS.
And then MC Hammer. You can't touch this thing.
Who was that dude that got canceled during the Me Too era?
Kevin Spacey.
No, the producer. Harvey Weinstein. He would have been my tank.
Who the fuck is that?
You know, to top it off, I would have had Will Smith as DPS.
Oh my god, with that slap.
Keep my wife's name out your motherfucking mouth. All right, buddy.
I know if Call of Duty wasn't afraid of being sued, they probably would have made that a taunt.
Right. I'm surprised no one tried it just to see if they were gonna get sued or not.
They probably didn't want to deal with getting sued.
You know, if they were really about it, and they were really about the smoke, they could have put G.I. Jane as Jada Pinkett Smith as a skid, bro.
God damn.
All right, amigo. We're running a little long, and I know you got to get off soon. So let's get into our last little segment. Before we do that, let's talk about our friends Honeysuckle Brand. Summer's here, which means it's time to sweat, sin, and sip something strong under neon lights. Shout out to Honeysuckle Brand, the unapologetic masterminds behind the Mood Room Garden and Bar. The only place in Houston where you can confess your sins, smoke a churro, and still make it to brunch looking righteous. They've got the vibes, the drinks, and the kind of summer energy that makes you question all your life choices in the best way. So whether you're out celebrating Leo season, dodging your ex, or just trying to sweat out last night's tabs, the Mood Room is your place to cool off, turn up, and pretend that your job doesn't exist. Honestly, it's like if your abuela opened a speakeasy and said, "Mijo, let loose, but don't embarrass me." So go check out Honeysuckle in the Mood Room. They have great events in every Thursday. They have comedy. They have the amazing Nectar Seltzer. Go check them out, honeysucklebrand.com, and promo code the Weekly D to get 15% off your first order. Or you can click on the link in the show notes. Alrighty, buddy. So it's time for everyone's favorite segment of the show, Spill the D, where our listeners send us confessions through Instagram at the Weekly D Pod, through X at the Weekly D Pod with the subject Spill the D, or they anonymously send us these confessions
Words are hard.
to our email. What happened?
I said words are hard.
They are hard after you drink this tequila.
Is that what that is? I thought that was lemonade. You had me fooled.
It was
It's
like
a
this much
margarita.
lemonade, this much.
My God.
All right, tequila's technically keto, so I can have it. All right, so Spill the D this week's brought to you by.
Hey. Hyped up, heavy 808s, drop. Hey, it's time to let it go, let it ride. Spill the D, don't run, don't hide. Danny G, AOZ on the mic tonight. Anonymous confessions, let's shed some light.
Honeysuckle, are you ready for the first one?
Yes.
All right, this one's a short one. All right, here we go. So I've been married for 3 years now, and last week it hit me. Marriage is literally just a lifelong subscription. Like I wake up next to the same person every day, no trial period, no upgrade option, and apparently no tech support. I've tried joking with my wife about canceling my plan, and she hit me with that customer service voice like, "Sir, are you sure you'd like to proceed? There will be emotional baggage and furniture division fees." Bro, I'm paying in chores, emotional labor, and shared location access. Ain't no one subscribing, just password sharing and passive aggressive text about leaving the fridge wide open. So that was it. You know, I never thought about that, but it makes sense. Marriage is like a subscription that's really hard to cancel.
I can't exactly complain. What the fuck?
Complain.
Can't
Yeah, words are
complain.
very hard, aren't they?
I can't really complain because you know, I've been getting the same Subway sandwich for the past 25 years. Yeah, I think I'm good.
I mean,
Believe it or not.
I'm just saying, I've never thought about it that way, but marriage is very much a subscription. I enjoy my subscription, so I don't plan on canceling it. If my wife's listening, I do not plan on canceling my subscription. But with
Let's
that
make
being
that
said,
clear.
I'm also Catholic, so it's a subscription that's impossible to cancel.
Yeah, I didn't get married through the church, so. But
So you have
that doesn't. No.
it still won't be an easy cancellation.
No. It wouldn't be a cancellation. It'd be a termination. Okay, it'd be a termination on my end.
You read the terms and
It would cease to exist. It'd be a termination. It wouldn't be a cancellation. It'd be user terminated. That's what it's going to be. Profile deleted.
Account deleted.
Yeah, account deleted. Removed from existence. Like it never happened.
Oh my god, that's crazy though. That's really crazy. That was a good one. All right, you ready for the second one? It's also a little short one.
Yes.
Wait, here's the last one. Sent to us anonymously through our X using the hashtag Spill the D.
Who's ex? Not my ex.
The Weekly D's X account.
Oh.
I don't know, Alan. All right,
Hmm.
you ready? You ready?
Yeah.
All right, here's confession number 2 for the week. So I was cleaning out my gym bag and found an old Blue Chew I forgot I had. I didn't want to throw it away, so I put it in my pocket thinking I'd toss it out later. Fast forward to the family carne asada. My dad asked me to grab him a drink. I hand him a bottle of Topo Chico with the chew still stuck to the bottom of the cap. 20 minutes later, this man is on the patio talking about how he hasn't felt this alive since Vicente Fernandez was on tour and started slow dancing with my tia to Grupo Frontera song. My mom gave me the look like she knew I summoned a demon. I ain't been allowed to pour drinks since. Worst part, my mom was low key excited. I heard things that night I could never unhear. I haven't slept peacefully in that house since.
So the Blue Chew was stuck to the cap?
I don't know. I think they missed. I think they forgot to send part of the story. I
Yeah,
didn't
it
read
seems like
it.
it's missing a little bit there. How the hell did it go from his pocket to the bottle?
I don't know.
Maybe the can opener?
Maybe.
Can opener was in his pocket?
I don't know. But Dad got the Blue Chew and the mom got
Yeah,
the
goddamn. That's where
arch
you
back.
fucked up. That's where you fucked up. There's not Blue Chew around here, blood. There's
Right.
that tabs.
On that tabs.
We're all about that pink. You're not on that blue and black. No.
We're about that
We're
break
on
it
that pink and
bang.
gold.
Break it
Break
bang.
it bang.
Break
Break
it
it
bang.
bang.
Bang bang.
Bang bang. That's wild though.
That is wild.
I don't know what I would do if I heard my parents do that just because my mom found the chocolate and decided to eat it.
By the way,
It'd be like your dad eating that gummy bear all over you.
right? But imagine your mom all hot and bothered all over your dad.
God, I don't want to picture it. She listens to this podcast. I don't even want her to call me the next day or whatever after this is posted and be like, "You don't want to know what I did to your daddy.
Well,
Your mama's so nasty. She sucked your daddy's dick and kissed you goodnight."
I can't wait to hear the conversation after. She's like, Alan, what did I tell you about them crazy stories? Oh my god! Fun fact though, we've almost sold 100 units of tabs.
That's crazy.
So I was thinking, once
You
we hit
horny
that
bastards,
100,
keep it up. I said, you horny bastards, keep it up.
right? Keep it
Eat
up.
more
Keep on
chocolate so
buying.
you can keep it up.
But here's the thing: if you're curious about tabs, okay, when we hit the 100th sale, I will personally order a box of tabs, have it sent to me, and then we're gonna do a raffle or a drawing of some sort, and the winner will get a free box of tabs with the Weekly D t-shirt and some stickers.
Oh my god!
Once we hit that 100th sale, and
Not the tab.
we'll run a competition. I don't know what it's gonna be yet. What do you think we should do?
Competition for what? What are you talking about?
Like
What
to
do you mean?
select a winner. Should we do a random drawing? Just pick a follower?
I would say random drawing, but I don't. But how would you keep track of who's who? Like who's the number?
That's what I'm saying. So here's what I was thinking. I was thinking we find something like some sort of game to play with the listeners. We'll post it all over our social media. We'll run the contest for like a month. And at the end of that month, we'll choose a winner on the show. And we'll send them a free box of tabs with a Weekly D shirt and some promo stickers. What do you think? Free box of tabs.
That's a
That's
lot
not
of money.
bad. That's 3 good experiences at least.
Yeah.
Just don't use them on
all by
yourself.
yourself. I don't know.
I was about to say, just don't use them by yourself.
Oh yeah, in the
And
middle
also-
of the night, you're like, like wake up in the middle of the night. I'm hankering for some chocolate, but this is the only chocolate.
Also,
that
don't
I
share them
have.
with the homies unless you're planning for some weird shit to happen. We don't need
Bro
another bro
top,
top
dog.
story.
Some bro top. We ate so much chocolate one time. We just
We just sucked each other's dicks.
Oh god, dang.
Whole dangling thing and everything.
we got so feisty that we were just like, what are we gonna do? Fight or either way, I'm getting naked.
Getting naked and you're
Okay,
getting
look,
paid.
look. This is all I gotta say. I worked with individuals these last 2 weeks, technically three, because I technically worked like 3 weeks. 2 weeks in one, and then one normal week. There are some people that I work with that are a little too comfortable with their sexuality, and the amount of gay jokes that I hear on a day-to-day basis now, especially being in the group chat, is insane.
Wild. Bunch of old grown men talking about eating each other's ass, huh?
The bad part is we're all around the same age. Like one's 30, and then the other one's also 30, and
God damn,
I'm 29. I'm like the youngest one. The other one's like 32,
yeah.
about to be 33.
When y'all get into arguments and be like, I spit in your butt.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly how it goes. It's wild. It's wild. Like one of them went on vacation for like a little bit, and he's like, "Damn, I miss y'all so much." He's like, "I'm sitting here touching myself, thinking about you," and I was like, "What the?" I was like, "Dude, it's Saturday morning at 7 a.m. What the fuck are you doing, starting conversations like that?"
Oh
And
my
then, and then
God,
he's like,
that's hilarious.
"Chris, come back here and let me blow your back out." And I'm like, "What the fuck? Y'all are weird."
You're like, but
Yeah,
I
and I
like
think
it.
Chris started listening to the podcast.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, and so
Shout
I
out to
had him
Crystal.
trying to listen. I forgot which episode he started on, and he was just like, "This is your podcast. I was like, what are y'all talking about?" And I was like, "You don't want to know what we talking about. There's so many gay shit that's being said. The bad part is my mom listens to this.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a lot of
a lot of fun moments here. We have
yeah,
fun. We have
yeah.
fun on this
It's
podcast.
crazy. It's crazy, especially when you spend a lot of time with a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. By the way, next week we have a interview. So if you can make it, that'd be great. If not, I understand. We got our first interview of the season. Mr. Wazzy.
Oh, that's right. You rescheduled it, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Because you forgot you had a
I had my brother-in-law's birthday.
brother-in-law's
Yeah.
birthday.
Yeah, it didn't pop up on my calendar till the day of, and I was like, oh, I gotta cancel.
You're like, hey, dude, sorry, I forgot.
Funny thing was, he was going to the same birthday, so I could have recorded there.
See, so you're like, look, dude, I wasn't lying, man. We're both
Yeah,
going
I
to
was
the
like,
same
see,
party.
bad part was I showed up late, and he was already there.
And he's like, damn, dog, what were you doing? Yeah, I kind of feel like you lied to me.
Right.
Has he released any more music?
He's working on some new stuff. I talked to him a couple of days ago.
I'll have to look.
I actually ran
I'll have to
into
look. I haven't
him and
listened
my
to his stuff since the
brother-in-law.
last time.
Him and my brother-in-laws are starting a band.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Wait, the twins?
They're not twins, but they're close enough.
I call them twins because they're close enough.
They're close enough, yeah.
They're very close. Like you can't sit there and tell me that they're not.
They're not related. Yep. Yeah, so next week, the next episode, you'll be hearing us interview Wazzy. Huge shout out to Wazzy. He's a new up and coming artist. Straight out of the town. It'll be fun. But anyways, if you guys like what you heard, please give us a thumbs up, 5-star review. Go tell your mom about us, tell your friends about us, your coworkers, your aunts, your uncles, your mom, your grandmas. Tell your kids. The Weekly D is for the kids. This has been the Weekly D podcast. I'm your host, Danny G. That was Mr. AOZ. And remember,
Yeah,
if you can't get it daily,
get it weekly.
peace.
Wwjd. Wwjd.
What would Jesus do? What would P Diddy do? What did the gorilla do?
Wwjd, we confess and we rage. Popes in 3 coffins, we're out the cage. It's like bombs from 45. History wild, but we're still alive.
Go.